The universe's most dangerous hunters have landed in the small town streets of planet Earth from the outermost reaches of space. And this time, they're smarter, stronger, and deadlier than before thanks to a genetic upgrade achieved through another species' DNA integration. We've seen the movies and have been asking ourselves the question, could we have beaten the predator? We think yes. Let's get into all the ways we found on how to beat the predator. First is to know your enemy. They say to be prepared is half the victory, but how do you prepare against a predator that is bigger, faster, and more intelligent than you? Not to mention his weapons from outer space. The first thing to do would be to observe your enemy. Your greatest chances of surviving lay in the information you can acquire about their hunting styles. The more you know about their functions and how they operate, the more likely you'll be able to point out their Achilles heel. So, what do we know about the predator? The predator, also known as the yautja or hish, is a humanoid species with radically advanced technology. Their society operates on a merit-based hierarchical system, where merit is given based on each predator's individual hunting capabilities. They live for the hunt. This means that the more daring the hunt they take on, the higher they rise in their society, and the more they are revered. The most important thing to note is that while the yautja are excellent killing machines, they operate through a code of honor, which they must adhere to while on a hunt. Going against this code of honor would mean being exiled from their community and being titled as bad blood with a kill on sight attached to them. Their code of honor dictates that the weak, the pregnant, or those who can't defend themselves are off limits. This is good news for a lot of us who have no fighting skills or are pacifists. You can survive a predator by simply surrendering or showing off your weak human form. Who knew being weak would end up as a strength? Next, preparing for battle. If you're one of those gym buffs who have no weak excuses to rely on, here's a tip for you. Since the yautja hunt for fun and glory, they tend to not use their advanced outer space weapons unless you really piss them off or just won't die. The yautja rely on close combat and handheld weapons when engaging in a fight. They believe that it's nobler and makes for an interesting fight based entirely on the individual's physical agility and prowess. You, on the other hand, can opt for any weapon you like. When hunting, and especially going in for the kill, predators prefer close-quarter kills and are armed with various weapons to achieve this goal. Hunting spears and knives, customized cyber discs, and power fists are all amongst their most preferred weapons. Although your survival chances drop drastically when face-to-face with a predator, you can choose weapons with a projectile range and those that can shoot multiple shots in a short period of time. Taking a page out of the military and urban civilians who love to play superheroes, shotguns are a great option. Since the 1980s, the U.S. military's favorite close-quarter weapon is the 590A1 Mossberg. This is a 12-gauge shotgun that holds 9 rounds and is unquestionably lethal for close-range shots. In terms of accessories, you can equip yourself with different types of shotgun rounds, like the Dragon's Breath, which sprays your target with magnesium burning at 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot! Not only are you going to inflict major damage on the yautja, you're also going to completely throw off its vision, which we'll get into later on. Up next, a predator's strength versus yours. The average predator weighs more than 300 pounds and stands 7 feet tall. Just to give you an idea of what you'd be up against, for the average human being standing 5 feet and 7 inches with a mean weight of 180 pounds, trying to take on the yautja would be like trying to take on a sumo wrestler with the skills of a UFC fighter. Fighting doesn't sound like such a good idea anymore, does it? To make matters worse, their bodies are very resilient thanks to their alien genetics. Predators can keep fighting even after being pumped full of bullets and sustaining an amputation. But here's the plus point. If you can damage a predator enough, they may cease the hunt and fall back. E.T., go home! So here's the game plan, you guys. Consistency is key. If faced with a predator, don't give up and keep finding new ways to fight off and hurt them. We can't kill them, but we can hope to wound them badly enough for them to flee. Here's a question. How many amputations does it take for a predator to go home? Definitely more than one. And how low can you go? Although big in size, the predators are evolutionarily primed to be the perfect hunting machines, which means they're surprisingly light on their feet and fast. Like most smart predators, they tend to keep watch on their prey from atop rooftops and have even been known to favor high treetops rather than running and staying on ground. The message is clear in this one, guys. Your chances at battle and survival are a lot better on and below ground level. Basements and lower ground levels are the best hideout spots for those engaging in this deathly sport, while the rest of us are going to go hide and wait out this madness in the underground subway systems and sewerage lines. Next, let there be light. The yautja are actually a pretty cool species, when they aren't trying to hunt us down for sport, that is. Once again, thanks to evolution, their vision was evolved to see in the infrared spectrum, which means that they can see much better at night light. Since their vision relies on thermal imaging, those brave, read stupid enough to take on these intense killers can take advantage of daylight hours when pursuing this sport, as their infrared vision becomes a handicap in the light of day, or when ambient temperatures rise, causing individual heat signatures to mix together. But of course, a race as progressive as the Yautja would find a way to counter this disability. Every predator wears a biomask, which allows them to fine-tune their vision and utilize the ultraviolet spectrum instead. If you're being hunted by one, the best way to trick a predator would be by hiding your body heat and using its natural vision against it. However, this is just a temporary fix. Thanks to the exothermic nature of our bodies, whatever substance we use to mask our body heat with will soon warm up and give us away. Rather than covering yourself up with any substance, it would be smarter to camouflage your heat signature by standing in front of a warm wall or even near a vent blowing out warm air. You can also light fires around yourself, which result in multiple heat sources and confuse the predator's vision. While it's super bad for the environment, if ever stuck in a situation where your chances of survival seem slim, burn any rubber laying around you. This creates thick smoke consisting of rubber particles, which is super savvy when it comes to hiding heat signatures and blocking infrared light. And pretend like you're in Home Alone. If all else fails, if there's anything we've learned from Arnold Schwarzenegger, aka Major Alan Dutch Schaefer, is that sometimes brains are better than brawn. If you recall, the predators are a species of their word and are bound by their own code of conduct when it comes to hunting. Since we already know that it's all about the glory for the Yautja when killing, we propose you play into this thought process of theirs. Just like Major Schaefer, you could try throwing down all your weapons in order to show the predator that you'd rather face him mano a mano, just how they like it. However, before you begin to throw down your weapons, you're going to want to set some traps for these killers and hope to all the galaxies they've been to that these work. For this part of the plan, we suggest digging deep down into your memory and remembering every possible movie of the Home Alone series that you've watched. Set down nifty traps one after another in your chosen path of exit, the kind that would make Kevin McAllister proud. The predator may slip through a few, but chances are they'll fall for one or two, which will hopefully hurt them bad enough to slow them down. Once your traps are set and ready to go, you're going to want to find the predator pursuing you. Sounds like a bad horror movie. You're supposed to run the other way. But the thought process behind this is that we are evoking the Yautja's code of honor, in which they don't fight the defenseless. We're hoping that throwing down your own weapons and laying them in front of the predator will evoke their deeply imprinted code of conduct and push the predator into throwing down his own weapons, especially the plasma laser blasters that can cut through anything. Although it's highly unlikely that you'd win in physical combat against them, keep pursuing your exit path and let the traps you've set do the rest. That's a wrap for this video. Do you know of more ways to beat the predator? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.